How are you feeling today, Katy?
Nervous.
Yeah?
Katy Bear considers this time of her life a miracle. She's about to become a mother again, 20 years after she was sterilized.
What are you hoping your doctor is going to tell you today?
Everything is good. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
She's from the Mattawa North Bay Algonquin First Nation and lives in Saskatoon.
Checking in.
Perfect. What's the last name?
Bear.
At 41 years old, she is about to give birth to her 5th child.
My children are ecstatic to have a little baby coming into the house, We're growing our family once again.
Weeks before her due date, Bear feels excited about her pregnancy. One she was almost denied.
It happened to me when I was so young. I was 21. They told me it was contraception.
At 21 years old, Bear was sterilized. She recently got reversal surgery and conceived.
The government was against me. Colonization was against me. But I beat it. I took back my womanhood.
A day after giving birth to her 4th child, Bear claims she was coerced into getting a tubal ligation at the Royal University Hospital in Saskatoon, a surgical procedure to prevent pregnancy by blocking, clipping, or removing a woman's fallopian tubes, which can be difficult to reverse.
I was told that because I was 21 and had 4 kids, that I probably shouldn't have any more, that my kids would be taken away by Child and Family Services. So they rolled me in, gave me a consent form, and they said, just sign this. That's all you need to do.
Out of fear, Bear signed the consent form.
And I looked at the guy and I was crying and I said, I don't want to do this. Can I just go back to my room? Can I see my baby? And he looked at me dead in the face and he said, no, you already signed it. It's done. We're going into the operating room. Everybody's waiting for you. I was alone. And I thought, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I woke up in recovery, shivering, thinking, what did they just do to me?
Bear's healing journey started in 2017 with a chance encounter with Métis Senator Yvonne Boyer in Saskatoon. She was investigating reports of forced sterilization at the Saskatoon Health Region for an external review.
And I was like, so you're that senator. It happened to me. And I remember just tears and her holding me, and she looked at me and she said, it wasn't right. She opened that door so that I could start healing and realizing what actually happened to me.
Getting excited about
Yes.
this birth is going to be so exciting for everybody involved, for sure. I'll have you lie down.
Okay.
For Bear, that meant getting her tubal ligation reversed by Dr. Marilyn Davidson.
She's kind of defied some of the odds, right? Because she only had 1 tube, which was reanastomosed. And, the other issue is as we get older, it becomes harder to get pregnant.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority says it can't comment due to patient confidentiality, but in 2021, it changed its policies on postpartum tubal ligation.
We recognize that it's a very vulnerable time in a woman's life to make a decision that's so important in their future. It shouldn't be surrounding a delivery.
Bear's family paid $7,000 out of pocket. The procedure is considered an elective surgery in Canada. It worked.
How empowered do you feel?
Very.
Okay, there's your prenatal records. You take that with you on your trip.
So empowered, at 37 weeks pregnant, she's about to drive nearly 3,000 kilometers to a national healing gathering in Gatineau, Quebec, to meet other women who have been sterilized.
No.
Thank you.
Her baby could be born any day. That afternoon, with a baby bag ready just in case, Bear starts the 3-day drive to Gatineau, Quebec. Meanwhile, in Ottawa, Senator Yvonne Boyer is continuing the fight to end forced sterilization.
How many women are there in Canada who have been sterilized without their consent?
My office counted at least 12,000.
Boyer has been instrumental in raising awareness and finding survivors. Her advocacy started long before becoming a senator, working as a nurse in Saskatchewan and Alberta for more than 2 decades.
I heard other nursing staff talk about the Indian problem, and the Indian problem would be fixed if all the women were sterilized. And I heard that on more than one occasion, and with such disdain that it sends shivers up my spine, even saying it today.
How do you know this is still happening today?
Because I get phone calls. I get phone calls when this happens. We have a very secure network as far as what's going on around the country. The last one that I had heard of was last Christmas, but I believe it's still going on, yes.
Honourable Senators, I have the honour to introduce a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Criminal Code, Sterilization Procedures.
In 2022, Boyer introduced Bill S-250, which would see forced sterilization become a criminal act.
We're going to be having doctors that are going to be thinking, well, perhaps I better think twice about cutting that fallopian tube, because the maximum sentence is 14 years in prison. I'm not giving up. I'll never give up, not until this is law.
The total number of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit women who have been affected by forced sterilization is not known, but many more are coming forward. 3 days after leaving Saskatoon, Bear arrives in Gatineau, Quebec, to take part in the first national gathering of Indigenous women who, like her, have been forced or coerced into getting sterilized.
I was sterilized when I was 21, within 24 hours of having my daughter.
Harmony Red Sky is with the Survivors Circle for Reproductive Justice, hosting the conference. She says forced sterilization goes back decades.
Our hope here is that we find more survivors and will increase the size of our national registry.
You're going to lay it down and you're going to tack that on.
Geneseo Kick says she was given incomplete information about being sterilized in Ontario after her second daughter was born 19 years ago by C-section. She was 16 and says she didn't understand the procedure.
To be forced or coerced into being sterilized is the most egregious act of genocide.
With care and finding those elders to come to you and finding that way of healing.
To help heal, it's important for Bear to share her story here with other survivors and to reunite with the woman who gave her the strength to get this far.
Hey, Katy.
I gotta throw my phone.
You look so beautiful.
What's it like to be here with all these other women who have been forced or coerced into sterilization?
On one side, I'm blessed. I feel so hopeful.
And at the end of March, Bear gave birth to a healthy baby girl she named Sage, which she says means good medicine.